Hi everybody, welcome to another Chats with Chaudhry. It's a glorious sunny day here in Surrey, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Thomas Hofmaier, who is the head of Pharma Process Technology at Glatt. But today he's actually representing Excellence United, who are one of the main sponsors of Achema Pulse, which started on Monday and is running for the whole month, and we'll also be running some live events on the 15th and 16th of June. So we're going to be talking about Achema Pulse, but we're also going to be talking about some of the issues that Excellence United will be addressing around pharma manufacturing at the show, and where people can learn more about the solutions. So Thomas, lovely to meet you. How are you?
Not too bad. Thank you for asking. Yeah, we have fabulous weather here in the southwest of Germany. Hope the same. We have the same weather in England.
Yeah, well, it's been a glorious last few days, and we've had a bank holiday on Monday. But I understand you have a bank holiday coming up tomorrow or Friday as well. So,
yeah. So it's in the balance again.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. So, before we start talking about what you do at Achema Pulse and about looking at pharma manufacturing specifically, could you give viewers who are not familiar about Excellence United a little bit of background on who Excellence United actually are, and also a little bit about your own background as well?
Sure. Yeah, I'm the speaker of the Excellence United, which is an alliance of 4 companies. All are based in Germany. All are privately owned companies. So we have some sort of similar culture, doing business, supporting customers in all of the areas. And all 4 companies see themselves as some sort of market leader, technology leaders in their field. And we know each other since decades. Excellence United is now 10 years old. And we are coming from projects, so we met ourselves as an alliance in projects prior to the start of Excellence United, the alliance idea already. So we know each other since. I did a lot of project management the last decade, so I know them also since from projects. And all of our 4 companies, they have some sort of area of competence. I start maybe with Ullmann, and Ullmann is well known as a packaging company doing packaging equipment. Hofmaier is on medical devices, pharma, powder handling, and that is well known, of course, due to their perfect tablet presses and capsule filling machines. And Glatt, maybe you might know them as granulation and fruit bed technology suppliers, but during the last 20 years we widened our portfolio from weighing and dispensing up to the last step prior to packaging, which is the coating of tablets. That's where Glatt is coming from, and we all 4 together, we are able to supply us a one-stop solution to our pharmaceutical customers.
Brilliant. And a little bit your background?
I'm an automation engineer. I did a lot of commissioning 30 years ago. Then I did a lot of project management, greenfield. I was traveling a lot in South America. I was living quite a long time in England too for a large project, England, Ireland. Yeah, but I'm coming from this area, Southwest. That's where I was born. That's where I typically live, and I'm not traveling. And I'm privileged because, when I look on the left-hand side, you see the Roche, you see Basel, Switzerland. I see our customers, Roche and Novartis. 1 kilometer this direction is France, the Rhine, France, and in the back you see the wineries and the Black Forest from Germany. So we are directly at the triangle of the 3 countries.
Well, that's a fantastic view. Yeah, I mean, so fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about Achema Pulse and what you as an organization will be talking to visitors about. So you mentioned that as an alliance, you're covering the whole manufacturing process, basically. So what are some of the issues then along that process that you will be looking to help pharma companies and users address at Achema Pulse?
Yeah, we as the alliance, we said at the very beginning to the organizers for the organization team at Achema that we'd like to take part of that, because we have a lot to tell, a lot to explain to our customers, and we we have focused more or less on four main topics.
Right.
But that's not the only topics, because every individual company is also presenting on their own. But we bundled up four main topics as the alliance, which we would like to present during the Pulse event. And one of the main topics is containment. Yeah, containment, application of containment, where we show a lot of solutions. We try to explain what is the actual trend on containment. And we would like to explain and express our way, how we view, how we would like to execute containment projects for the customer. Because typically containment is seen only for containment for the individual machine, but when you look on the complete factory, the owner of the factory, he needs a complete concept for every unit operation step inside his manufacturing. And there we would like to show how an integrated containment concept can look like, supplied or supported by the machine suppliers as such already. That's
Great.
one area we would like to where we tell a lot about executed projects, but also we have a small view into the future. What is our plans? How we see containment? Because containment sometimes has we get feedback that customers feel that on containments you are limited in the application because you have to have special provisions to protect operators. You have special provisions to be sure that you do not bring toxic material, for example, to the environment.
Right.
And a lot of customers are afraid that they're losing flexibility in their manufacturing when they have to use containment. But we show, or we discuss also our way, how we can do that in still a flexible way. So with containment, it doesn't necessarily mean you are getting inflexible. We will show a lot of things where you see that flexibility can be maintained.
Yeah, well, I think, you mentioned flexibility, and I think speaking to a lot of companies over the last 12 months, flexibility has become a bigger and bigger issue for pharma companies, because obviously they are looking at developing different types of drugs and smaller batches and so on. So there is that whole issue now of being able to be flexible in terms of the approach that you do for all aspects of manufacturing. Isn't that the case?
Yeah, that's a good bridge to the next topic we would like to present.
And we didn't even plan this, Thomas. There you go. So there you go.
No, we don't need to plan. We also talk about a perfect project, project for a capex, for investment, where you are absolutely right. The time to market is important. The speed. When can customer provide his new formulation, his new product to the market? The project management of such a capex is more and more important. And there are two trends. One trend is the medicines are getting more complicated, more customized, more, let's say, innovative.
Sure.
That's one area where the competence from the supplier is very important, because the development of a new drug is strongly linked to the manufacturing of the machines and the technology around it. But still we have a lot of projects where a classical application, a classical drug, needs to be manufactured as a derivative in a much more faster turnover of the manufacturing, the existing manufacturing, to a new possibility to manufacture drug. And we also show in a stream, we call it the perfect project, how we see it, how we can help the customer to be faster, building up his facilities and his technology.
Brilliant.
So that's the second stream we have. And the third stream we would like to explain is digitalization as such. Yeah, digitalization today is a little buzzword.
Sure.
A lot of general talks around digitalization, but we said ourselves, let's be concrete. Let's show the customers concrete solutions. And we have a quite wide band range. We talk about integration, the classical integration of unit operations into one system, so you can collect all relevant data to one system. How does this work today with the new technologies? How can we support customers focus on the real important data. Yeah, that's also some sort of art to collect and work with the right data. That's from one direction, from the shop floor management, from the order management of the production order, but it's the same, feeding back relevant data to one system, so customer has a good quality on their data, which they might use for GMP and non-GMP relevant analysis. That's one area on digitalization. We also talk about service and training, remote service. Nowadays, during these times, it's very important to show what is possible today. Yeah, that's one. And then, of course, typically OEE discussions, how can you improve the performance of the machine having OEE data out of the 4.0 solutions.
Right. I mean, so let me ask you a question about utilization. It was obviously because of the pandemic, a lot of companies have moved forward and accelerated their approach to utilization, and also because of the fact that we have been in lockdown, and you just mentioned it, you know, servicing and supporting customers remotely. And I remember a few years ago going to a show, and a company had their sort of virtual reality goggles on, and the customer would put them on, and then they could be shown how to sort of fix the machinery. I mean, I know that's not true in every instance, but I'm sure that's been accelerated because of what's happened because of the pandemic. So how much servicing from a manufacturer's point do you think will now be remote? Because you can do that now, and it's been shown to work, and it's efficient. You don't have to send engineers out. And how much would you think will still be the engineer live on site? I know there's obviously going to be instances where you'll need the engineer physically to be here, but do you think it's caused a shift, or do you think customers' expectations once the pandemic is over will we still want the live engineer on site regardless? Because that was nice to have when it was lockdown and we had a reason, but now lockdown's finished, we believe service is better if you have the person actually on site. Or do you think customers now have become accustomed to that remote service support, and they'll be happy to continue that going forward?
My view is clear here. I think there will not be a going back movement. It will remain as it is. And may even continue yeah, it's really important that the customer accepts the technology on remote, which is sometimes also a discussion on the data. What data are we allowed to get access during the pharmaceutical production? That's a critical area, and we provide all the technology around that, so we are safe in these regards. The trend is clear. It will continue as we started during the pandemic. And we have, VSA Alliance, we have 600 people in service. Yeah, our organization is 6,000 people large, and the Alliance is 600 people who are doing services. During the pandemic, you can imagine these service guys are not traveling to customers anymore. They are supporting the customers at home. And step by step, we introduced newer and newer technology, depending on the possibilities, the technical possibilities, which is present also locally on site. So yes, this virtual reality, augmented reality, this kind of technology will continue. We did a lot of progress in this. You see that also in our posts when we explain some of the good examples. We also post that in typical media like LinkedIn. You will see a lot of these very pragmatic and very good solutions, how to be supportive, being 2,000 miles away from the machine. On the other hand, we were very lucky that our network inside the Alliance was global. So all our service engineers we have in wherever you think, Africa or South America or US, it was very important that we have the local network, because when it comes to a very complex situation, they need a lot of data, which is not bundled into one system, which is sometimes very often the case. GMP data, secured mechanical data, a few experienced guy looking on a specific situation. Sometimes it's really useful, and it's required that the guy is also on site. So we are happy that we have the local service network inside the Alliance, but the technology will continue. Yeah, so That's one area when we have a support case, but also training is important. Yeah, training, the machines are getting more complex. The formulations are not straightforward, so the operators of the machines have to know what they are doing, and we use this kind of technology a lot for training. Yeah, training of new employees on customer side. And that's also part of one of the streams we will show on our 4.0 stream during Pulse.
Fantastic. Okay, and what is the last area then that you'll be covering?
The last one is OEE, all over efficiency. We think besides the new projects, the perfect project for a new plant, there's a lot of potential on existing infrastructure on customer side. So we're talking about OEE, what can be the measures to improve your existing facility, your existing investments on the long term. We talk about retrofits, how flexible you have to be in future to use existing equipment for new drugs, for new applications, but also to improve the output, the performance as such. And there we can also give a lot of value to customers because we know we are not only machine suppliers, we see ourselves also as a 360 degrees service provider. We as Alliance, we have GMP facilities where customers can modify or develop their existing formulations. So we have facilities where we can also be extended arm on a lot of services, not only providing the machine or the perfect machine. We can also provide the service around their application. And there we would like to talk about this topic in regards of efficiency. So efficiency is the fourth stream.
That's really interesting. I mean, that makes me think, though, as you're talking about retrofitting, how easy is it for manufacturers to retrofit their equipment, which may be 5 or 10 years old, to sort of adapt to the new world or new demands of customers? I mean, is it a complicated process? Because, if you look at the whole world, whether it's manufacturing in pharma or whether it's the PlayStations, if you want to get smaller consumer products, everything is designed often to sort of replace something rather than add to something. It's not always complementary. It's sort of, well, you have to buy the new one now because the other one doesn't work any longer if you want to use it. So how easy is it to retrofit a lot of the, I know it's going to vary from manufacturer, but in general, how easy is it to retrofit equipment?
Yeah, that's an art of its own. I'm an automation engineer. I know what's the problem. The technology is so fast. The changing technologies on operating systems, on automation software, on sensors, everything is changing more and more quickly. So it's very important that when you start with the design of a machine, you also have to start thinking about the life cycle of that product, of that machine. So when you start introducing a new technology at the very beginning, even when you have finalized your invention or your good idea, you have to think, how can I guarantee a life cycle for that machine for 20 years? Yeah. So everything with what you are designing, you have to consider that it's changing during the time. The machine, the times that you are supplying a machine, and then it's after FAT, after the handover, it's not our problem. These times are completely gone. We support the customer in a long term. So we are also always able to provide packages to keep the machines updated. To introduce new technologies. 4.0 is a good example. All this artificial intelligence features, the plugins into automation and into the control systems. It's very important that you build them, you design them to grow and to maintain during the use of the machine. That's the art of its own. But I think we are not that bad in this regard.
And I also, when you were talking, it made me think that the role of an engineer and the skill sets have changed so much, because whereas before you would think more mechanical engineering, now it's like you said, it's automation and software. So you have to be as much an IT expert as you have to be an expert in terms of the nuts and bolts, if you want to put it bluntly. There has to be a much broader skill set. Or do you have different people now specializing in different aspects in terms of the machine?
Yeah, we have, of course, the Complete Alliance has a project management system where we use the different skills to execute the project in the best way. So you, of course, you have specialists on automation, you have specialists on sensors, you have specialists on the pharmaceutical process as such. Yeah, but at the end, it's always important that all members inside the project has sufficient knowledge about the application at the end. Yeah, the best software doesn't help and work if the software programmer does not understand what has to come, what is the result of that perfect machine. Yeah, so it's a lot more. There are a lot of more requirements to explain all the skills, all the team members, what is the benefit for the customer at the final end, what is the idea for the operator who is using the machine and the technology. That has changed a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
but
imagine
with
it
the
has.
new medias, with all this data sharing systems, I think we take advantage of these technologies to guarantee that.
Fantastic. So you've talked about some of the issues which you'll be addressing. So how can people access all this wonderful content and information that you'll be providing during this month and also at the live event itself on the 15th and 16th?
Yeah, we have you go to the web page. When you register yourself, you see the program we are providing. You can select the topics which are interesting for you. For example, in digitalization, we have a keynote speaker from Roche, from here, talking about the view of the customer in regards of digitalization. So you see a lot of the program content already in that web page. We as Excellent Night, we have also a small stage where we discuss as on the management level, what are the new trends on pharmaceutical manufacturing, where we explain a lot about what is going on in the market. So we think it's also interesting for our customers to hear what we're thinking about this kind of topics, sustainability project, how is the trend moving in pharmaceutical manufacturing after the pandemic or in this very special situation. So we also talk about that. There's a small discussion about the topics where you can also register to join and participate in these kind of discussions. We have other formats like workshop where you talk about a very specific topic. So it's quite a big bundle of topics inside the Achema Pulse program from Excellence United.
Fantastic.
Just look on it, and then it's very simple to
yeah. Well, the link, well, just viewers, just so you know, the link for that will be above the video, so you'll be able to click on the links and go directly there anyway. And also, there's a link to get free tickets for Achema as well, so you'll be able to register for free for Achema Pulse for this month as well. Thomas, I know that's all we've got time for, but I just want to say that's been a really fascinating topic. I mean, you can tell I'm genuinely, what I love doing these interviews is I learn new things all the time. And I think the whole thing about how the world is changing and how pharma is obviously having to keep up with the changes. And like you said, much shorter lead times. The footprint is having to be smaller in terms of the space the machines take. The technology is changing and the flexibility, as you mentioned. There's so many things changing within the space and it's changing rapidly. It's a fascinating topic. So thank you very much for sharing that with me today. Viewers, if you'd like to know more about the topics that Thomas was talking about, such as, and let's see if I can remember, the perfect project, containment, efficiency, and digitalization, as well as obviously sustainability in the other areas and the trends going on, then please check out the Excellence United program and their booths, and also the individual companies, partners booths as well, because they'll be covering lots of great stuff as well. The links will be above the video. It's running for the whole month, the platform, and the actual live presentations will be on the 15th and 16th of June. So the whole program is there. So have a look at the links and check it out. And as I said, the registration is free if you use the code which is above the video, so you can actually register for free as well. So saving you 99 euros, I think. So there you go. So Thomas, thank you very much. Enjoy the view from your lovely office. have a wonderful bank holiday weekend as well. I hope you have a fantastic time. And I look forward to hopefully catching up with you again in the not too distant future, learn how things have developed. So thank you very much.
Thank you for the time you spent, and hope we see us virtual or live at the Achema Pulse. Thank you
I
for the
look
time.
forward to it. And viewers, thank you very much for watching. As I said, if you'd like to know more about what Excellence United are doing, what is happening at Achema Pulse, check out the links above the video. If you've got any questions for Thomas, or based on any of the things that he's talked about today, then feel free to drop a comment or a question below the video, or you can message Thomas directly on LinkedIn as well, because I'm sure we'd love to hear what your views are in terms of what his views are in terms of efficiency, the perfect project, Pharma 4.0, and the other things that we talked about today as well. So until next time, have a wonderful week. I hope the sun is shining where you are. And as always, stay well and stay safe. Bye-bye.